Hey everyone, Dr. Dollz here. Glad you could join me today. Been working on a new opening for the show. Haven't got it done yet. I'm changing the music and I'm just changing the whole look of the show as far as being a little more on the spooky side. So I'm working on a new opening with new, more scary type music. Okay. Today's show I'm going to show you 3 different Frankensteins. Okay. I don't think any of them would qualify as being a doll, although they are, 2 of them are like playthings for a child, supposedly. But they're all Frankenstein related. One's a motionette. My motionette people have seen, so it's a big head. And let's get started with that. First, I'm going to give you a question about Frankensteins. A movie question to start things off with, and you think about it during the show. If you actually sit and watch this show, I don't know what you're doing, people, but watch this show if you can. And my question for the Frankenstein question day is, what older movie, not super old, I think it was in the 90s, was there a Frankenstein movie where the Frankenstein monster, so to speak, was gay? Okay, and I know I'm not saying anything's wrong with being gay. You can be gay if you want to. Not talking about that aspect of it. What was the name of the movie where Frankenstein was portrayed as being gay? Okay, so think about that and I'll tell you the answer at the end of the show. So let's get started with showing our first Frankenstein. Okay, today's first Frankenstein is a Frankenstein stretch screamer, as they call it. Okay, this has batteries in it down here in the foot. The bottom part's hard, the top part is got the beans in it, you know what I mean? And then this part here, that's really cool. It's really cool. It's like his brains and blood and stuff like that. Okay, it's all, just wanna chew on that. Okay, okay, and you can just make it be gross like that. You want to squeeze it, like, because certain people get you mad. You want to take their head like that and squeeze their head, okay, until this happens to their head, okay? So let's turn on the switch here. See, when you hurt him, he's moaning and groaning. See? Yeah. He's in pain. Yeah. And when you punch him, you can do the same thing. Yeah, that one really hurt him. See? Punching him here. He's in pain. Yeah. Oh, knock it off, would you? It's not that bad. So it doesn't take much movement to get him going, but you know, you stretch him. Kind of like the old Stretch Armstrong. Of course, a lot of you younger viewers wouldn't probably even remember that too well. But I think the best part is, you know, we all like that part the best, you know. And this is, you know, this toy is, I would say, pushing 20 years old. So the fact that that's even, and you know, the thing is, sometimes they go for a reasonable price on eBay, sometimes. But I've seen these close to, you know, $175 before for one of these, and they're not worth that. They're not worth this at all. There were, and this is like the original series, okay? There were 2 others in the original series with Frankenstein. I'm going to show a picture up here. The Mummy or it was a mummy, I should say, not the Mummy. The Mummy and like the creature from the Black Lagoon type creature, okay? Are we showing that? Okay. So, anyway, I only have the Frankenstein. And like I said, some of these are overpriced, like everything else on eBay, huh? But if you watch, you can still get good deals on them. Anytime you can get them for 40 or under, you're much better off. I got this. Yeah, I didn't get this from eBay. I got this from Goodwill. I found this thrown on the floor in the Goodwill section about, I'd say 5 years ago, and I think I paid like $2 or $3 for it. Yeah, I got a steal. It was a little dirty, sure, but it totally works, and it was just tossed around like nothing. Okay, so that's our Frankenstein Screamer, Stretch Screamer. Yeah, it's from a company called Quest or Manly well, it's like slash Manly Toys Limited. And I really don't know the exact year. Oddly enough, there isn't a lot of information about the original Stretch Screamers. Now, they did come out with a second edition, a second series of these, which I think were a little on the smaller stature side, and there were more monsters than just the 3, but those aren't as collectible as you can imagine, and not as cool, you know. They're just not cool. They're just not cool anymore. So anyway, these are the ones you want to get, in the original 3, okay? And Frankenstein is the most common, so he's not the coolest to get. The Mummy and the Creature is actually the ones you want to, if you find it, get it, especially if it's cheap, okay? So yeah, let's put him away and get out the next Frankenstein. Okay, perhaps some of you have seen these, or some of you probably actually have played with these before. This is a toy called Big Frank. Clever, huh? And it's from Play School Toys, okay? And this was actually once my grandson's, and that's how I ended up having it, okay? It has a little door here in the front, all right? And the heart. Let's see, is it this? Yeah. Fix me, indeed. Get my finger on this. Evidently, that's all he says. See, when you switch this over here, I don't know, I'm trying not to get too close to the camera. Anyway, he just says, fix me, according to what I'm seeing here. The heart. The gears turn. And this originally came with, I believe, a couple of tools, okay? A couple of tools to do things with. And I do not have the tools. And also it came with a brain, which I do not have, which somehow has gotten lost. Which, you know, that is common with a lot of people. They do not have a brain. So he's right in there with them. But anyway, this is from 1993-ish, depending on, you know, because there's, well, it says 1992, you know, it's kind of, when you read information off the internet, you got to take everything with a grain of salt about the exact years and everything. So when I'm saying years, when I'm quoting years here, you know, I get called on it sometimes like, well, no, you're 1 year off. And it's like, it just depends on what article you read from what website, you know what I mean? Because nitpicking, you know, it's in the general area. 1993 would be a good roundabout number. Anyway, that is for the kids to play with, to get them started on the horror genre. Young, get them play with Frankenstein, taking Frankenstein apart, and with his tools and stuff. And like I said, I don't have the tools, and let's show the box that it comes in, which I do not have. Okay, that's the box that it comes in. And I don't have the box. I didn't think back then to actually keep the box, you know, for the artwork and stuff like that. But anyway, Play School, this is all hard. And Big Frank. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to our last Frankenstein, a motionette Frankenstein. Okay, motionetters, I do have a motionette for you. I do have a animated figure. Okay. This is, of course, Big Head Frankenstein. Let's turn him against his will. Face the camera. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. He's been on, I've had him on a show before when I compared two big heads together, and that was a very highly watched show compared to some of my other ones that probably just had to do with searches and nothing more. But anyway, this is Universal Studios Frankenstein, Big Head Frankenstein. I think, what year are we talking about here? Let me look at my notes so I don't misquote myself here. Oh yeah, 2001 it says. Okay, it takes four AA batteries, and it also has an adapter hole in the back to plug it in, which I'm always a fan of plugging things in. Okay, the real metal Frankenstein thing in the front here. He doesn't have his handcuff chain things on, dangling down. Actually I have those, but I removed them. See, they were on it. It was on it. Well, it's a long story, but I do have those, okay? But let's turn him on, okay? Okay, the Monster Mash. Of course, that was done in, I think it was, what, 1962? By, geez, I'm blanking out here. I better look at my notes. Hang on, guys. Yeah, Bobby Boris Pickett, yeah. Was it 1960? Yeah, it was 1962, yeah. But let's show a picture of him, okay? All right, so he did the song Monster Mash, and it's been used in so many ways, shapes and forms over the years in movies and stuff like that, and obviously in motionettes too. Bobby is not with us any longer. He died in 2007, and he was 69. And anyway, the Monster Mash, very popular. I mean, there's no song that really hits the spot like that when it comes to corny Halloween type songs, you know. Well, there are a couple of them, but anyway, that's been around for a long time, and that's cool. That's cool. Anyway, let's hear what else. His mouth isn't moving. And I know you motion-etters are saying that at home. His mouth isn't moving. Yeah, I noticed that. Good. His teeth aren't bad, though. I mean, the ones you can see, the bottom set of teeth aren't bad. So he is brushing. That's important. Yeah. So he says a different word and then goes into the song each time. Okay? He's a little stiff. But yeah. But anyway, he says different little couple of words in front of each time they do the Monster Mash, you know. And this is one of my. I like all the big heads that I have. I have the skeleton, and I have a different big head Frankenstein, which has been on a video before, and I have a big head witch. But I think this is my favorite of the big heads that I actually own. And they don't always... one thing I've noticed with the big heads, they tend to not work very long. So if you got one that still works good, you know, lucky for you, because, yeah, they tend to have little glitches on them, and I'm not sure what all is the reason, but, yeah, the batteries go down here in the compartment down here. It's a typical looking base standing on the brick base there, and anyway, I like him such as he is, without the chains and everything. You know, chains can't hold him down, you know. So, but I like the fact that you can plug him in if you want to, okay? I like to have the option, okay? Anyway, that's our show for Frankensteins, and let's get back to our question of the day. Okay, without cheating, if you guys got on the internet and cheated and looked this up, it's not the same. Have any of you figured out what the answer is to our movie trivia question of what movie was Frankenstein portrayed as being gay? Okay? I've seen it. Rock and Roll Frankenstein. I believe it was from the 90s. I believe. Don't quote me on that. Don't think. Well, you know what's it? Okay. I didn't look that up, guys. I'll be honest with you. I own it. I've seen it once. I have to be honest with you. I didn't care for it. You know, I'm pretty flexible about movies and liking movies and stuff. And I really didn't like this movie. I thought I would. I thought it would be funny and stuff, but I'm not saying it wasn't funny in a way, but I didn't like it. And it had nothing to do with the gay factor. I could care less about that. It's just, it wasn't a good, I just didn't enjoy it. I didn't think it was a good movie. I mean, I know what they were doing there. I get what they were going there, but I think I would have done it differently. Like I say about almost every movie that I've ever watched, I would have done that better if you'd let me do it, okay? Now, I don't say that about everyone. There's certain movies that it's like, just as they are, they're fine. But a lot of movies that I watch, it's like, you know what? I wouldn't have done this. I would have done this or this. Let me do it instead, okay? So anyway, we showed you 3 Frankensteins today, and if you stayed to this point of the show, congratulations. People, I need subscribers. I don't know. Should I be with a girl? Is that what it is? I don't have a girl up here with me. I don't know. I mean, the ones that seem to be popular are the pretty girls that they're doing the spook show, horror shows, and whatever. And I'm not just doing all straight horror and movie reviews, and I'm not cussing and yelling, and I'm not, and I don't have a girl up here with me, or anything like that. And I'm wondering, what should I do to tweak my show? What should I do to, and I'm sure there's a lot of suggestions out there what to do and what not to do, but it's all everybody's personal taste. One person would like a certain thing, another person would hate that same thing. So you can't please everyone, and I understand that. But I want to try to get some more subscribers. For God's sakes, I don't tell people how many subscribers I have, and I do have some subscribers. I'm not saying I don't. But I'll be honest with you, the last, I believe, 3 days, I ain't gained one subscriber. Nothing. Okay? It's like, am I that boring? Am I that boring? I guess I am that boring. I guess to watch on YouTube. There's so much to watch on YouTube. Like a needle in the haystack. That's what I am. So, anyway, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And if you watch this far, really, you should subscribe. I mean, if you got this far, and you hear me begging for subscribers, I mean, you think you would subscribe, But anyway, I don't do everything right. I don't say everything right. I don't know every fact. And right now, I'm not spooky as I want to be. But I am going to change my beginning of the show and make it a little more spooky, I hope. I already got music and stuff picked out. I'm coming up with ideas, and I don't like any of them, okay? So I'm still working on that. So I'm going to change my beginning, and probably the end, too. But I haven't worked on that. So I'm one thing at a time. And let's see, what else do I want to say? I've got shows planned. I've got a whole list of shows planned, and I don't know if they'll be any good or not. And I hope they'll be something you want to watch at least a little bit. And try to get people to subscribe. And yeah, I need some help. I need some help bad, baby. And if you would, check out my favorite girl on the internet, favorite girl on YouTube, Horror Gal. She just put a new show on, I believe it was yesterday. She looked as yummy as always, so check her out if you would. And my phone's ringing, so I better let you guys go, okay? And I'll see you next time on the Dr. Dollz Spook Show. Somebody get that, would you?